and it happened a lot. But now, they tell you the awful truth about a lot of things. Some of these bulldogs are collie crosses. Wallermeyer was put in there. German Pointer was put in there. Plotham was put in there. And of course, everybody knows Catahoula's up in the gene pool. So, them Alapalas, whatever they call, those dogs are American bulldogs as well. It's not no separate breed. It's one of the same. It's like the white English, country bulldog, the pit bulldog, American bulldog, same thing. Same scenario, playing that word semantic situation. These dogs got a lot of dogs in them. You try to do a genetic DNA test. One was done in 2000. They indicated what type of breeds that went into the American bulldog. Believe it or not, the bulldog component in the American bulldog was real small. I'm talking about the standard dogs, not the Johnson type. Standard dogs were real small, but they were split, which is like a husky or a Akita type breed. Like I said, the Wallermeyer, German Pointer, and a lot of cur dogs. And when John, I'm gonna do an interview with him too. He'll tell you himself when he started line breeding on his dogs. And John had some of the best standard dogs on the East Coast, like on some real stuff. He was one of the best breeders. One of the best breeders. There was a few others that had some phenomenal dogs, but he was one of the few. And on some real stuff, he started tightly line breeding on his stuff, and all types of stuff happened. You had some that came out like Eli pit bulls, but that is the natural, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, that game dogs were put into the American bulldog from Genesis. You had some that came out collie looking or coyote looking, and then you got some in betweens and some other stuff. But then they came in different variety of colors. Some came black and tan with brindle points. You had some that was black. You had black brindles. Of course, he had the red with the black mask. Of course, he had white dogs and Powerball and etc. They came in all that except for blue. They didn't come in that. His dogs, his strain. But other enthusiasts and breeders, yeah, they came in that color. So, like I said, with the American Bulldog, it is what it is. It's an admixture. It's not actually a bad thing, because look at the Tulsa. The Tulsa was actually the Akita-like breed once upon a time. But the Japanese added Western breeds inside the breed. And then eventually you got what the Akita is now. So the same thing like with the American Bulldog. Same scenario. Same scenario that happened with the Canary dog. Through introducing other breeds, it changed. Same thing with the Cane Corso. Bringing in other foreign breeds, it changed. Some of them. Some of them. And just like with the American Bulldogs, you got some of them. You got a lot of traditional dogs still down south. You got to find those dogs. That's all. They in the backwoods still, I'm guessing. Because I haven't been in the backwoods in a minute. But they back there. And you still have dog men that still hunt hogs and still do their thing. So, like, it is what it is. And you can get you a good American Bulldog. But I have to give the Johnson breeders and enthusiasts their props. They have been stepping up, especially in England. Like, yo, like, whoa. Like in Europe, American Bulldog they took them breeding programs to another level, which is cool. Here in America, you got to get off your hobby horse or your high horses and, yo, do the right thing by the breed, man, on some real stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, yo, I got a pure Johnson. It just don't even matter no more, man. It don't. Bully type, standard type. Actually, I like the in-between both. They call it a hybrid, but it's not actually a hybrid. But they call it a hybrid, but it's in between them both. Those dogs, to me, are the better dogs. Or, like I said, you go in the backwoods and you get real sound stuff from what you call it, like Raven Sturburn dogs, and those dogs are like Bill Hines dogs, Loki, Boss Man, Country Boy, the big-headed dogs, real robusty dogs like Rambo, them dogs. Those dogs. Those dogs were real bulldogs, like for real. Real big, big-headed, hard-driven, like on some real stuff. And them dogs are still down there. Get you a nice bulldog. Take your time. Do things right. Breed correct. That's all I'm going to say. Don't worry about the color aspect. Let that be secondary. Confirmation. What are you breeding a dog for? And a lot of us, a lot of you enthusiasts, the American Bulldogs is actually for protection, right? Or working ability. So do that. That's it. That's it. But to say that, yo, all the colored bulldogs are pit bull crosses, that's false, man. All American bulldogs are pit bull crosses. The white ones, the red ones, Powerbull, blue, black, etc. All of them. All of them. All of them. Again, I wish Jim Edward book was out, and then you can get this reference or verify. Dave Putnam made a book back, I guess, early 90s? No, it wasn't early 90s, like late 90s. And the book was alright. I'm not going to say it was real good, but it was alright. And he gives you certain scenarios of, what might be what with these dogs. So what I'm saying is, like I said, the Allant came in many colors. Go down in Spain, they reconstructed them to be what they once were. And the dogs come in a lot of colors. The Allants came in a lot of colors. So it is what it is. Cur dogs come in a lot of colors. The Bulldog has cur dog in it. Like it or not, it is what it is. Johnson dogs, standard dogs. It is what it is. And you only got two strains of American Bulldogs. You got your bully type and you got your traditional type. Actually, like I said, Johnson did have a bloodline. Joe Painter really didn't have a bloodline. It was kind of scatterbred country dogs that he was getting from the country. That it is what it is. Like, yo, they were country bulldogs. So he didn't really establish a bloodline. Scott really didn't have a bloodline. Scott had a few dogs. He bred together, and then he just ultimately stopped. People were still breeding traditional dogs down there. It was Williamson still running around down there, but I don't think no more though. But Williamson once was. There was Nation running around there, and once upon a time, which was Johnson related, but looked like Johnson dogs. There was Bailey stuff running around. Bailey still breeds today, but his stuff might be a combination of a lot of people's stuff. Bill Hines got some dogs, and he bred some dogs, and a lot of stuff has Masher type dogs and Williamson blood. So it is what it is. Like I said, like these breeders was around back then. Tux, Tiger Lady, etc. Like these dudes was around. I don't know if these gentlemen are still, living. It's W.C. Bailey. He also has some rough dogs. So, but like I said, a lot of these dog men weren't mentioned, and definitely wasn't mentioned by J.D. He definitely wanted to keep these, like Sil Ashley and these guys. He actually wanted to keep these dudes out of the limelight, because actually these guys would have told you the truth of the matter of who had what, because they knew each other. You know what I'm saying? And again, it was a thing of these dudes are trying to get money, and I don't knock them. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a city slicker and you don't know no better, yeah, I'll sell you anything. And so I've had a bulldog cross. Yo, listen, I got an American Bulldog in the back. You want it? All right. And then the price range went from 150, 200, 300, 400, 500. Sammy Bailey kind of stood it traditional, like at the 400 range. You know what I'm saying? I respect Sammy for that. Word up. I respect Sammy for that. But then these dogs skyrocketed $2,000 at once upon a time. I don't know how much American Bulldogs cost now, but back then they was like $2,000 for some crummy stuff. Like it wasn't even good. Some dogs that Casey and Carl made, cut the mustard, they were good. But a lot of dogs they made were trash. I had one of the trash ones. That made me want to lead the breed. The politics made me want to lead the breed. oh, they only come in white with the white patches, and I knew that wasn't so. And again, like I said, I have a picture of Rex. He's underneath a wagon, his tongue is hanging out, and he's laying down. And that's not a coon hound or any type of hound back then. Like, yo, that is a bulldog. He's almost the size laying down underneath that wagon as that wagon. That's a big wagon. It wasn't no little wagon. So that was a big dog. That was a big bulldog. And again, my great-grandfather wasn't a breeder, but that's a sure enough indication that these dogs were down there. And these dogs were just owned by white folks. Everybody had them. That if you lived down there, people had them. So it was what it was. So me saying that is that, yo, humble yourself, be cool, and start tripping all the time. Yo, this enthusiast told me that this and this and that, and this is what it gotta be. No, it doesn't have to be that. No, you're wrong, man. You're wrong. I don't know who told you. You don't have to know who told me. You don't have to know. Because again, like with Corsos, these dogs are manifesting what went in will surely come back out. Like on some real stuff. So again, with a lot of standard dogs, you see in the Eli pit bull, or you see in certain lines of pit bulls being manifested out. Not a bad thing. It needed to be put in there. Because when the English bulldog came into the breeding program, the teeth shrunk. And a lot of Johnson dogs have little teeth. So therefore, the hybrid dog, when you breed back to a standard dog, or just say, per se, if somebody gets slick and they breed back into a game bred dog, which won't be a bad cross, teeth get bigger. So now the dog is able to do what it's supposed to do. Hunt. If a wild boar came up on you, you had a hidden sleeve, not a hidden sleeve, a vest on, your dog could do the thing. And sometimes down south, back in the day in the early 90s, it wasn't no armor with a lot of dogs. A lot of dogs were so rough and bad, they would catch hogs and not get cut. Phenomenal stuff. I done seen dogs get ripped to shreds. Ripped to shreds by a hog. I respect any dog that can catch a hog. That's a working dog. A hog is nothing to be fooling around with. It's more dangerous than an alligator. It's more dangerous than a bear, mountain lion, bobcat. Only thing I think might give the wild boar a run for the money is probably a wolverine. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So therefore, like I said, humble yourself, bro. I'm seeing good progress with the American Bulldogs. Again, I don't know what's what anymore. I'm going to find that out. You know what I might do? Make a Bulldog from them. Yeah, I might do that. Really trick people out. But we'll see what happens. Alright, man. Saladin Salon. Straight out of New York, and I'm out. Later.